Hello guys, welcome to another video. This one is paper 1-2 of May-June 2016 of Add Math paper 1. So before we begin this video, I would just like to give you guys some advice. So when you guys do past papers, the most important thing right now is to understand how to do those questions. Okay, so I hope you keep that in mind while doing those questions. So with that being said, let's move on to question number 1. Okay, so here we have a universal set is a set of real numbers, and the set of x, y, and z are such that the first one is x is equal to integers, which is multiples of 5. Now, question for you, what is multiples of 5? It is basically when you say 1 times 5, 2 times 5, and keep going on. Basically, that will be a set where you have 1 times 5, 2 times 5, 3 times 5, 4 times 5, 5 times 5, and keep going on until infinity. The next one here we have y is integers of multiples of 10. So it will be 1 times 10, 2 times 10, 3 times 10, 4 times 10, 5 times 10, and then keep going on until infinity. Now this is pi, root of 2, and exponential. So you can check what is pi. Pi is 3.142. Root of 2 is 1.414. Exponential is 4.11. So basically, these three numbers are not exact values. They are irrational numbers. Now, part 1. Use set notations to complete the two statements below. So first one, y is what of x. If you observe, every element of y is also in x. So as you can see, so basically y will be a subset of x. That is the first one. Now for this one, y intersecting z is what? So these are exact values and this is non-exact. So basically we don't have anything in common with those two, so it will have to be the empty set. Now let's move on to part B. On each of the Venn diagram below, shade the region indicated. So let's begin with this one by one. What is A prime? A prime is everything outside of A. So outside of A, right? Intersecting B, so you will have A prime outside of A but B, that will be this part. Right. And then we have union C, you will have C with this. Okay, so that will be the region that you need to shade. So this and this. The black and the purple one together, okay? Now, next one, we have A prime intersecting B union C. So what is B union C? It will be B and C together. But here we have intersecting outside of A, so we have to shade B and C, but outside of A, not with A. Okay. So that will be your answer for part B. And that is your question number 1. Now let's move on to question number 2. The first 3 terms, so 3 terms in this expansion are given to you by these 3 numbers. So find the value of each of the integers, so integers A, B, and C. So basically, we have to understand that we are trying to look for the first 3 terms of this expansion, which give you this value, and hence you're going to find the value of A, B, and C. So pretty easy. We just have to expand this thing. So this one is a binomial expansion. So the first term is, so 5, choose 0. Here you're going to have 2, and here you have 1 over 4x. So here we have 0, so that has to be 0. 5 minus 0 is 5. That is your first term. Then second term, we have 5, choose 1. So here's the same thing, 1 over 4x. Here we have 1, here it is 1. Now 5 minus 1 is 4. And we have 5, choose 2. Here we have 2, and here we have minus 1 over 4. So here we have 2, have to be 2 here, and here it is 3. Let's simplify one by one. What is 5 choose 0? We can check. So 5 choose 0, that is 1. And what is 2 power 5? That should be, you can check, that should be 32. And anything power 0 is 1. 5 choose 1 is 5. 2 choose 4 is 16. This will be minus 1 over 4x. And what is 5 choose 2? That should be 10. So plus 10 times 8 times 1 over 16x squared. So now we have to simplify. So here we have 1, that will be 4, that will be 2, 1 will be 5. Now you will have the first term will become 32. So plus 5 times 4 is 20, times minus 1 is minus 20 over x. And here we have 5 times 1 is plus 5 over x squared. So if you want to compare, the value of a will be 32, the value of b will be minus 20, and the value of c will be 5. That is for part 1. Now for part b, we have to find the expansion, the term independent of x. So when you see hence, whenever you see this word, it means using your answer from part 1 to find this value. So basically, from part 1, we know that the first 3 terms of this became 32 minus 20 over x plus 5 over x squared times 3 plus 4x. Okay. So in this expansion, you have to find the term which is independent of x. So what does that mean? You have to find the term where there is no x. Okay. So for the 3, I have to multiply by which number to have no x? So multiply by this one. So there's no x. So 3 times 3, 2. Now for this one, so we have plus 4x. Multiply by which one? So we have no x. If you observe, we have to multiply this by this one. So there is no x as a result. So plus 4x times minus 20 over x. Now we can simplify. 3 times 32, it is 96. Plus minus 20. These two cancel out, obviously. So 20 times 4 is 80. So 96 minus 80. That should be 16. Your answer will be 16. Okay, and that will be your question number 2. Let's move on to question number 3. So we have vectors a, b, and c given to you by these 3 vectors. Now part 1, given that a, the magnitude of a, is equal to the magnitude of b minus c. Find the possible values of y. Y is this one. So first let's find this one. What is b minus c? So b minus c is b, 1, 3. Minus c is minus 5, 5. So 1 minus minus 5, that will be 6. 3 minus 5 is minus 2. Okay, that will be b minus c. Now first question, let's find this one. What is magnitude of a? So that will be equal to square root. So a is equal to this and this, so we take the first value, square, plus the second value, square. That is the formula for the magnitude of a vector. Now we can simplify. That will be square root of 4 plus y squared. Next we have to find the magnitude of b minus c. So b minus c, this square the first value, 6 square, plus minus 2 square, this one. That will be 36 plus 4. That will be 40. Now as you can see, these two are equal to each other. So we have 4 plus y squared is equal to root of 40. Which means this inside is equal to this inside. So 4 plus y squared is equal to 40. Now y squared is equal to 40 minus 4, that will be 36. And from that you will have y is equal to plus minus root of 36. And the two values will be plus minus 6 for the value of y. Now let's move on to part 2. So given that mu times b plus c plus 4 times b minus c plus lambda times 2b minus c, we have this equation, right? So we have to find the value of mu and lambda. So let's do one by one. So first let's find what is b plus c. So b plus c is equal to b. B is 1, 3. And c is given to you by minus 5, 5. That will be minus 4 and 8. Okay. Now what is the value of b minus c? That is given to you from part 1, 6 minus 2. So let's replace that. 6 minus 2. And what is the value of 2b minus c? So 2 times b is 2, 6. Minus c is minus 5, 5. That is 2 minus minus 5 is 7. That will be 1. So finally, we just have to replace these values in this equation. So we have mu times b plus c is minus 4, 8. And plus 4 times b minus c is 6 minus 2 is equal to lambda times 2b minus c. Next step is to simplify the equations one by one. So we have minus 4 mu plus 24 is equal to 7 lambda. Okay, that's the first one. Let's see what we have else. And then we have 8 lambda minus 8 is equal to lambda. Okay, so here we have lambda already as your subject of formula. Just replace this in this one. You will have minus 4 mu plus 24 is equal to 7 times lambda, which is this number. Now we have to simplify the equation. So minus 4 mu plus 24 is equal to 56 mu minus 56. If you're not sure about the multiplication, you can always check 7 times 8, 56. Always make sure to check your values because you will have to use them to find the answer for those values, right? Now let's simplify. Let's send this one to one side and this one to one side. So 24 plus 5, 6 is equal to 5, 6 mu plus 4 mu. That will be 80 equal to 60 mu. So finally, the value of mu will be 80 divided by 60. 0, 0 goes away. That will be 4 over 3. That is your value of mu. Now using this value, we have to find the value of lambda. So lambda is equal to 8 times mu minus 8. That will be 32 over 3 minus 8. That will be 32. Let's make it become the same base, 3. That will become 24. So 32 minus 24, that will be 8. So lambda will be 8 over 3. Okay, so here you have your two values. Lambda is this, and this is mu. And that is your answer for your question number 3. Let's move on to your question number 4. So in this question, do not use a calculator. So what I can advise here is you can always check using a calculator, but you have to show every step of your work in this question. So find the positive value of x. So important here, the positive value for this equation, giving your answer in this form where a and b are integers. Now for who don't know, integers are just whole numbers. So let me write down integers is equal to whole numbers. Okay, just so you know what it means. It can be minus 1, minus 2, 0, 1, 2, you can keep going on, up to you. Now step by step, if you observe here, we have x squared, we have x minus 1. So this looks like a quadratic equation. So we can label this as a, this is b, and this is c. So we have to use x is equal to minus b plus minus b squared minus 4 times a, which is this one, and times c. and all this divided by 2a. 2a will be 4 plus root 5. Okay, so let's simplify step by step. So let's simplify the one which is on the inside. Inside we have 2 minus root 5 square minus 4 plus root 5 times minus 1. Now we have minus here, times minus becomes plus. Now for this one, if you expand, you will have 4 minus 4 root 5 plus 5. That will be plus 16 plus 4 root 5. Now we can simplify. You will have these two cancel out, and that will be 4 plus 5 is 9 plus 16, that will be 25. So this becomes 25. So let's write this down. X is equal to, this will be root 5 minus 2 plus minus root of 25 over, that will be 8 plus 2 root 5. Now we can simplify. X has to equal to root 5 minus 2. We take the value of plus, this is 5. The reason why we use plus is because they are only looking for the positive value of x, so that's why we use plus. We take the plus, we don't take the minus. All this divided by 8 plus 2 root 5. Simplify. Minus 2 plus 5 is 3 plus root 5 over 8 plus 2 root 5. So that is your value of x, but here the question is asking us to express in this form. So how do you simplify this kind of question? You have to multiply top and bottom by the conjugate of this one, which is 8 minus 2 root 5. Okay, minus 2 root 5. So let's simplify the bottom one first. You will have 8 plus 2 root 5 multiplied by 8 minus 2 root 5. That should be equal to, because it looks a lot like a plus b multiplied by a minus b, which is the same as a square minus b square. So this thing becomes 8 square minus 2 root 5 square. That will be 64 minus 4 times 5. That will be 64 minus 20. That will be 44. So the base become 44. How about the top? The top is 3 plus root 5 times 8 minus 2 root 5. So first take 3, multiply by this. You will have 24 minus 6 root 5 plus 8 root 5 for this one, and minus 2. Root 5 times root 5 is 5. Okay, now we just have to simplify. So 24 minus 10 is going to be 14. Minus 6 plus 8 will be plus 2. Okay, now replace the values back in the main equation. On top you will have, this is x obviously, on top you will have 14 plus 2 root 5, and the base will become 44. So now we can divide by 4 everywhere. You will have, sorry, by 2, you should have, let's see what we have here. Divide by 2, you will have 7 plus root 5 over 11. Sorry, 22. That will be my answer for this one, value of x. But let me check here, because I think I may have made a mistake in this calculation. Let me just double check this one. So 3 times this, 24 times 6, correct. And 5 times this, that is also correct. Okay, that should be fine then. So divide by 2, that should be 2, 2. Okay, x is 7 plus root 5 over 22, where these values are also integers. A and b are integers. Okay, so with that being said, let's check if that is true. Let me try, because I'm not too sure if my value is correct, because usually the integers should be really simplified. So let me check here if there's any mistakes. So that is okay. That is okay as well. Okay, seems to be fine. Okay, so this will be the value of x. Let's move on to the question number 5. So show that 1 minus cos theta times 1 plus sec theta is equal to sine theta plus times tan theta. So as always, we begin from the left hand side and we try to prove it is true for the right hand side. So what do we see? We have this function. So sec of theta is equal to 1 over cos of theta. Right. So let's replace that back, but first we can expand this. So 1 times this will be 1 plus sec theta, and this time this will be minus cos theta plus sec theta times, that will become plus, or minus, sorry, because it is minus cos, now be cos theta. Now replace the value of sec by this value. You will have 1 plus 1 over cos theta minus cos theta minus 1 over cos theta times cos theta. But now if you observe, these two will cancel out. You will have minus 1 remaining. So 1 minus 1 is cancel out. So finally you will have 1 over cos theta and minus cos theta, right? So cos theta is over 1. So whenever you have different base, you have to find the LCM. In this case, we can just multiply them by each other. So that will be 1 times cos theta is cos theta. And then we have to cross multiply. So 1 times 1 is 1. And this will be cos square theta. So now we have to simplify this. If you observe, on top we have 1 minus cos square theta. So 1 minus cos square theta is equal to sine square theta. So this is also given in your list of formulas for this identity, okay? Now we can replace. You will have on top is sine square theta over cos theta. Now simplify. What is sine square theta? It is sine theta times sine theta divided by cos theta. Now sine divided by cos is tan, so you will have sine theta and tan theta for your answer. This is shown as required, okay? That is for part 1. Now for part 2, hence, so again you see hence here, hence meaning using the value from part 1, solve this equation. So part 1 we have shown this is equal to sine theta and tan theta. That is equal to sine theta. So one mistake I see that we do most of the times is we tend to divide by sine because it is on both sides. You will just cancel out, but you should not do that because by doing this you will lose some values for your angles. So what you need to do is send sine over here. You will have sine theta tan theta minus sine theta equal to 0. Now next step is we factorize the sine out. That will be tan theta minus 1 is equal to 0. Now we can solve to find the values. So on the left hand side we'll have sine theta is equal to 0, or it can be tan theta minus 1 is equal to 0. So make tan theta become your subject of formula, which is 1. Now as you know, if sine is positive, the values will be in the first quadrant and in the second quadrant. First is the value of theta. Let's call this theta hat, and this one is 180 minus theta hat. Okay, and in this tan, when tan is positive, it will be in your first quadrant, theta hat, and your third quadrant, which is 180 plus theta hat. But now we have to remember that angle in this question is in terms of radians. So that will be pi plus theta hat, and this is pi minus theta hat. So don't forget to change the mode to radiant. Okay. Now first thing first here, to find the value of theta, we first have to find the value of theta hat. That will be sine inverse of 0. That is 0. Okay. So now we can find the value of theta. So theta is equal to according to your quadrant, it is equal to this one, which is 0, but also pi minus this, which is this one. Now, same steps. Let's find the value of theta hat is tan inverse 1, which is equal to pi by 4. You can check. So tan inverse, let's use degrees if you are confused. So tan inverse of 1 is 45 degrees, which is pi by 4. Go back to radians. This is pi divided by 4. Same values, as you can see. Now, going back to your quadrant to find the value of theta, the first one is just pi by 4, and second one is this plus pi by 4, that will be 5 pi by 4. So that will be the four values that we have for the value of theta. But here, as you can see, the value of theta is between that range. So we have to check. This one is good, this one is good, but this one is outside. So it will not be qualified for the value of theta. So finally, we only have three values remaining, 0, pi, and pi by 4. And that is your answer for question number 5. Let's move on to question number 6. So we have to show that d by dx of this equation can be written in this form, where p and q are integers to be found. So as always, let's begin step by step. You first observe this 2 is a product, so we have to use the product rule. So d by dx of exponential power 3, and we have 4x plus 1. That is equal to, so first we write down the second term by itself, then we have to multiply by d by dx of the first term, and this is of course plus, and then we have to write down the first term by itself, multiply by d by dx of the second term. Okay, as you can see, they switch the terms. So first time we leave this one, then afterwards we leave this one. So they switch back and forth, right? Now we have to simplify. So the first one is the same. So what is this? So that will be exponential 3x. Then we have to multiply by the differentiation of the power, that will be 3. So this just to explain how do you differentiate exponential. For example, you have to differentiate e power x. First you write down the same thing, which is e power x, then multiply by the differentiation of the power, which is 1. So your answer will be e power x. Another example, let me write this down here. Differentiate exponential, let's say I write 5x. So first thing, write down the same thing, and then times the differentiation of the power, which is 5. That will be 5 exponential 5x. So this is just a side note for you. Now this one is plus, this one is the same, e power 3x. Then we have to find d by dx of this. So in this case, whenever you have a square root, we can use a trick. We can rewrite this down as 4 plus 1 power half. Now we can simplify, right? So d by dx, first thing is to multiply by the power, half comes up, 4 plus 1, then we have to minus 1, so half minus 1 is minus half, then multiply by the differentiation of the inside, that will be 4. So now we have to simplify. This one goes away, that will be 2, and then you will have what? Let's see. So for this term, it will be 3 plus 1, and we have plus 2 exponential 3x, and this will be over 4x plus 1. So when you bring it down, the power becomes positive, so that will be just this one. So just to explain, so 4x plus 1 power half is equal to 1 over 4x plus 1 power positive half. So when you bring it down, it becomes positive, and then this is just this one, right? Now this one is over 1. We have different bases. We have to combine them together. So as you know, we find LCM by multiplying them by each other. So 1 times square root of this, it is square root of the same thing. Next step is to cross multiply. So this time this you will have 3 exponential 3x. So square root times square root, it becomes 1, right? So that will be just this value on the inside. And 1 times this will be the same thing. Okay. So now if you observe, we have exponential here. Exponential, the same powers. We can factorize this outside. You will have exponential 3x. Then we have 3 remaining. 3 times 4 is 12x. Times 1 is plus 3. Then for this one, it is 2 remaining, so plus 2. Okay? And everything divided by the same thing. Now we just have to simplify. On top you will have exponential 3x. Here we have 12x plus 5 divided by the square root of 4x plus 1. And this is your final answer. If you want to compare with the question, he wants you to express it at like this, with px plus q divided by root of 4x plus 1. So the value of p is 12, the value of q is 5. And that is your question number 6. Okay, let's move on to question number 7. So in the question number 7, this one is your area. Let me shade that for you, because you will see that in the question it asks you for this one. Okay, that is for one part. Now, the question itself, the diagram shows part of the graph of y equal to 1 minus 2 cos 3x, which crosses the x-axis at the point A and has a maximum at the point B. Okay, part 1, find the coordinates of A. So A is where it crosses the x-axis. So one thing we should know is that at x-axis, the value of y is 0. So replace, you will have 0 is equal to 1 minus 2 cos 3x. So now we make cos 3x become your subject of formula. That will be half. So 3x will be cos inverse of half. Now if you can check in degrees at first. So cos inverse of half is what? Is 60 degrees, which is equal to pi by 3. So x is equal to divided by 3 pi by 9. So basically the point A is x pi by 9 and y is 0. So let's make a mark here. This is pi by 9. The next one is we have to find the coordinates of B. B is the maximum point on this curve. So as you guys must know by now, to find the maximum point, as we say at max point, dy by dx is equal to 0. So let's find dy by dx. So here we have y. Dy by dx will be, that is 0. Then we have minus 2 is only a multiple. Cos will become minus sine 3x times 3, which comes down to, so minus minus plus, so 2 times 3 will be 6 sine 3x. So basically at dy by dx equal to 0, so it means that at 6 sine 3x is equal to 0, which means sine 3x is equal to 0. So what is the value of 3x? That will be sine inverse of 0, which is 0, or it can be pi. So finally, x will be 0 or pi by 3. But as you can see, the value of x here is more than 0, so it has to be pi by 3. So the point B is pi by 3, and we have to find the corresponding value of y. So go back to your equation, replace x in here. So x equal to pi by 3. What is the value of y? Y will be 1 minus 2 cos 3 times pi by 3. So 1 minus 2 cos 3 times, so these two cancel out. Pi is just 180. That will be 3. So b is pi by 3 and 3. That is for part 2. So let's mark the point as well, so we know the limits of integration. This is pi by 3. Now finally, showing all your work, find the area of the region. So we have to find the area of that region. So whenever you have a graph and you have to find the area under a graph for x and y, we have to use the integration. So that will be integration between the limits of pi by 3 and pi by 9 of the equation of y is 1 minus 2 cos of 3x by dx. So now step by step, integration of 1 is x, minus 2 is only a multiple, and cos will be sine 3x. And then you have to divide by the differentiation of this one, that will be 3. Now the power will be pi by 3 and pi by 9. Now step by step, let's replace those values in your equation. So for the first one is pi by 3 minus 2 sine pi by 3 times 3, that is pi over 3. And then all this minus pi by 9 minus 2 sine 3 times this will be pi by 3 over 3. So simplify, this is what? Sine of pi, which is 180, is 0. So this is 0. This is pi by 3 minus, this is pi by 9. And what is this one? Sine of 60, so pi is 180, divided by 3 is 60. So sine of 60 will be, so let's write this down, sine of 60 degrees, or you can write sine of pi by 3 is equal to root 3 over 2. So replace this by root 3 over 2, you will have, so 2 times root 3 over 2, this is 3 here, that will become cancelled out, root 3 over 3 minus root 3 over 3. So finally we have to simplify. So here we have by 3 minus pi by 9 plus root 3 over 3. And that should give you what? So make it become the same base. You will have 2. So times 3 times 3, 2 pi over 9 minus root 3 over 3. And this is your answer for the area that you need to provide. Okay, and that is your question number 7. Let's move on to question number 8. So here we have a graph of log y and x squared. It is drawn by a straight line, and we have the 2 points that we need. So part 1, given that y is equal to a b x squared, find the value of a and the value of b. So to find those two values, first we must break down this equation in terms of log y and x squared. So we can do this by taking log on both sides, right? So let me do this on the space here. So we have y equal to a b x squared. If we take log on both sides, you will have this thing. Now we can simplify. That will be log y equal to log a plus log b x squared. So log y equal to x squared log b plus log a. That is log y equal to log b. As you can see, here we have log y, here we have x squared, and log a, log y. So this one looks a lot like y is equal to mx plus c, right? Which means this one is your gradient and this one is your y-intercept. Okay, so we have to use that equation to find the values of your b and a. So 1 by 1. So to find the value of log b, we have to find the gradient of this line. So here we have these 2 points. We have to find the gradient. So let's write down the points first. The first point is 1 and 0.73. And we have 4 and then 0.10. So to find the gradient, it is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 0.1 minus 0.73 divided by 1, so 4 minus 1. That will be minus 0.21 for the gradient. So as you can have seen from the equation, m is also equal to log of b. So this is equal to log of b. Now for you to understand, what is log? Log is just log to the base of 10. So finally, the value of b is equal to 10 power of 0.21. So 10 power of answer, that should be 0.617. That is your value of b. So now we have to find the value of a. A is your y-intercept. So it is at where it cuts my y value. If you want to, we can check. Let's continue the line and we can try to see what is that value. Right. So we can just try that. Just testing. So it should be normally be about 0, and this is the point 0.94. So usually that should be 0.94. Okay, but let's actually calculate the value from the points, right? So right now your equation will look like something like this. So we have log y on one side is equal to log b is equal to minus 0.21 times x squared plus log a. So we can use a point to find the value of a. So let's use the point, this one, 4 and 0.1. This is your first point is x squared, and this one is log y. So replace in the equation. You will have 0.1 is equal to minus 0.21 times 4 plus log of a. So we make log of a become your subject of formula. That will become, so 0.21, so minus 0.21 times 4 is this value. So 0.1 plus this value, 0.94. So a will be 10 power 0.94. That should be 8.71 for your value of a. That is the two value you need for part 1. Now for part 2, find the value of y when x equal to 1.5. So right now our equation is equal to what? Log y is equal to minus 0.21 x squared plus 0.94. Okay, this is our equation. Now we have to find the value of y when x equal to 1.5. So log of y is equal to, replace the value of x by 1.5. You will have this square plus 0.94. Now let's simplify this. So minus 0.21 times 1.5 square plus 0.94, that should be 0.4675. So y will be 10 power 0.4675. Let's see what do we get. That is 2.93. So that is my answer for the value of y. Now moving on to part 3. Find the positive value of x when y equal to 2. So same thing. You can always go back to your main equation. So log of y is equal to minus 0.2. That is x squared plus 0.94. So we can replace that here. So log of 2, y is 2, is equal to minus 0.21 times x squared plus 0.94. Now we have to make x squared become your subject of formula. So we first have to send this over here. So log of 2 is log to the base 10 of 2 minus 0.94 divided by minus 0.21. I have 3.0427. So from this, x is equal to square root of that is 1.74 for the value of x. So you can use that, or you can use your graph as well to find the values, and that is okay. Both ways is good for your answers. And that will be your question number 8. Now let's move on to question number 9. A curve passes through the point and is such that dy by dx equal to this. This is your x and your y. Question part 1 is to find the equation of your curve. So what does it mean? Is to find the value of y. So from dy by dx, how do you find y? You have to know that we have to integrate dy by dx to find the value of y. So let's do that. Integration of dy by dx, which is 3x plus 10 half by dx. Now step by step. So first thing, we have to increase the power by 1. So minus half plus 1 is half. Then divide by this power, then divide by the differentiation of the inside, which is 3. That is equal to 3x plus 10 power half, and this is 3 over 2, which is equal to 2 this times 3x plus 10 power half. Of course, we have to add c for your constant of integration. So now we have been given a point. This point is used to find this value of c. So when x equal to 2, the value of y is equal to minus 4 over 3. So this is actually y. So we have on one side is y, minus 4 over 3 is equal to 2 over 3 times 3 times x is 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 plus 10, sorry, is 16. Power half will be 4 plus c. Now simplify this to we have minus 4 over 3 is equal to 8 over 3 plus the value of c. Now minus 4 over 3 minus 8 over 3, that should be minus 4. So c is equal to minus 4. So finally, the value of y, which is your equation of the line, is equal to 2 over 3 3x plus 10 power half minus 4 for the value of c. That is part 1. Now for part 2, the normal to the curve at the point of x equal to 5 meets the line this at P. Find the x coordinate of P. So step by step, basically if you want to have a drawing to help you with that, so we have the curve here, for example. At the point of x equal to 5, that's the point, we have a normal going through that point. A normal is a line that cuts the curve at the 90 degrees, right? And this line, this normal, it cuts a line here, which is y equal to minus 5 over 3 at this point P. So we have to find the x coordinate of that point P. So how can you do that? You first have to find the equation of the normal. So to find the equation of the normal, you have to find the gradient of the normal. But to find the gradient of the normal, you first have to find the gradient of the tangent. And tangent is equal to dy by dx. At the point, this is at the point of x equal to 2, x equal to 2. Now from the question itself, we know that already. Dy by dx is equal to this equation. As you can see, it is 3x, which is 3 times x is 6, plus 10 power half, minus half, sorry. So what will that give you? Let me see. That will give me the values of, this is 16 power minus half. That will be 1 over 16 half. That will be 1 over 4. So let me check if that's the correct value or not. Double check. So here I have the dy by dx given to me. Replace the value of, okay, yes, so mistake here again, because the value of x is 5, not 2. Mistake on my behalf. This is 5. Okay, so this has to be 3 times 5 plus 10 is 25, not 16. Okay, make sure that we have the right value. Okay, this is should be 25. So that will be 15 plus 10 power minus half. That will be 25 power minus half, which is 1 over root of 25, which is 1 over 5. So that is the gradient of the tangent. So from this we can find the gradient of the normal, which is equal to minus 5. Okay, that is what we need. Now we have the x point is equal to 5. We have to find the y value. Y is going to be back on the equation of the curve. So look at this. Replace the value of x by 5. You will have 2 over 3 times 25 power half minus 4. 2 over 3 times 5 minus 4. That is minus 2 over 3. So that is the point 5 minus 2 over 3. This point right here. The next step is to find the equation of your normal. So we have to use this point. This is your x, your y. Equation of normal will be y minus this one will become plus 2 over 3 times x minus 5 is equal to the gradient of the normal. Now we cross multiply, you will have y plus 2 over 3 is equal to minus 5x plus 25. So y is equal to minus 5x, 25 minus this, so 25 minus 2 over 3. We can simplify this again. You will have, let's make it become the same base, this one. So times 3 will be 75, minus 2 is 73. Okay, now from this, what else do we have? So this is the equation of the normal. It means the line, this line. So we have y equal to minus 5 over 3. Replace this and this, you will have minus 5 over 3 is equal to minus 5x plus 73 over 3. Now we have to multiply everywhere by 3 to eliminate this 3. So you will have minus 5 minus 15x plus 73. So minus 15x is equal to minus 5 minus this will become minus 78. So x will be minus 78 divided by 15 minus 5.2. Should be plus because cancel out, right? So this is my answer for this question, and that is your question number 9. Okay, let's move on to question number 10. So here we have a badge made of thin sheet of metal consisting of 2 semicircles. So we have a semicircle here and a semicircle on top. So as you guys observe, 2 semicircle, what does that give you? That give you 1 full circle, right? Okay, so if you see that, that's good for you, right? Now what else? So here we have radius of x, so this is the radius. This also has to be x. This is also x. This is also x. If this is y, this has to be y. So something important here is given to you by, given that the area of the badge is 20. So the area of this shape is 20. So how would you find the area usually? If you observe, you will find the area of this semicircle, and plus the rectangle to get the area. So let's write this down. We know the area is equal to 20 according to your question. So to find the area, so as you can see, 2 semicircle is 1 full circle. So 2 areas of semicircle is area of 1 full circle. So area of circle is found by using a formula, which is equal to pi r square. R is the radius, so here the radius is x. That will be pi x square for the area of the two semicircle. So let's write this down, pi x square. Now plus, we have to add the area of this rectangle. This is x, this is y. Area of rectangle is x times y. That is equal to 20. That's my first equation. Okay. Now I have to find the perimeter P of the badge is given by this. So how would you find the perimeter? Now if you observe, we have to find this distance and this distance. So this is basically the semicircle, and this is another semicircle, which is equal to one full circle. So what is the circumference of one full circle? It is given by the formula 2 pi r, which is 2 pi x. Okay, so perimeter. So this length plus this length will be 2 pi x. Then we have to add these two. That will be plus 2x. And then we have to add these two, plus 2y. Okay, that is your perimeter P. But in this question, it tells you that we have to show it is in terms of x only. So we have to eliminate y and eliminate pi. So how can we do that? So we have to look at this one. So we have to make y become your subject of formula. So that will be 20 minus pi x squared, right? And y will be 20 minus pi x squared divided by x. Simplify, that will become 20 over x minus pi x. That is your value of y. Now replace this y in this y. So from that you will have, let's see, P is equal to 2 pi x plus 2x plus 2 times y, which is 20 over x minus pi x. Simplify, 2 pi x plus 2x plus 40 over x minus 2 pi x. Now these two cancel out. So your answer will be 40 over x plus 2x. And that is your value of P. And this is shown as required, right? Or you can write it down the same way. So 2x plus 40 over x. The same way, shown as required. That is for part 1 of the question. Now let's move on to part 2. Given that x can vary, find the minimum value of P. So you guys must know this by now. So let's write this down. At minimum value, we know what? We know that dp by dx has to equal to 0. Now P has been given to us by 2x plus 40 over x. Now to help you find this, we have to rewrite this down as 2x plus 40 x power minus 1. So let's find dp by dx. So dp by dx is equal to, that will become 2 minus 40 x power minus 2, which is 2 minus 40 over x squared. Now let's find the value. We have to equate that to 0. Now to eliminate the denominator, we have to multiply by x squared everywhere. You will have 2x squared minus 40 is equal to 0. So 2x squared is equal to 40. From this you will have x squared is equal to 20. And finally, that will be 20. So x will be positive because it is the radius. It cannot be the negative value. Okay. Now for this value of x, let's find the minimum value of P. So replace back in your equation. So P will be 2 times root of 20 plus 40 divided by root of 20. That should be what? That is 17.9. That is P is your perimeter. That will be in terms of centimeters. Correct to 3SF. Now we have to justify that this value is a minimum. So we have to show, how can we prove that? We have to find d2p we have to find d2p and dx2. So we have to use this one. So that will be 0 minus times minus 2 become plus 80 x power 3. That will be 80 over x power 3. So we have to show that d2p and dx2 at the value of x equal to 20. What is that? Let's try. 80 divided by so root of 20 power 3, that is 0.894, which is more than 0, which is positive. So you will write, since d2p, sorry, and dx2 is more than 0, it means that the value of p at x equal to root 20 is a minimum value. Okay, that is the question number 10. Now let's move on to question number 11. So here we have a graph. It is a speed time graph or velocity time graph, as you can see. Question part 1 is to find the distance traveled by the particle. So whenever you have a velocity time graph, distance travel is equal to area under the graph. In this case, we have to break this down into two parts. As you can see, here I have area of A. Let's call this one A and this one B. A is a trapezium with these two as parallel sides, and this is your perpendicular height. So A will be what? Half times the sum of parallel sides. This is 60 plus this one is 50 times the height is what? This is 15, right? Times the height. Plus, what is the area of B? B is equal to, same thing, area of trapezium, so half times the sum of parallel sides. That will be, this is 0, this is what? This is 35. That'll be 35 plus this one is 25. And the height will be 15 to 30, that will be 15. So let's find that value. So half times 60, half times 60 plus 50 times 15 plus half times 35 plus 25 times 15. That is 1275 meters for your distance travel, which is your area of the undergraph. So these two. Now part 2, write down the deceleration of the particle at time equal to 30. So let's find where is that. So based on your graph, 30 will be right here. We have to find the deceleration on this line. So the way I like to do this is I like to just make it become a right angle triangle. As you can see here, we have a right angle triangle. So the deceleration will be the height divided by the base. The height is what? 30 minus 15 is 15, and the base is from 25 to 35, that will be 10. So your deceleration is equal to, so because it's going down, that's why it's called a deceleration, but if it was going up, it will be called the acceleration. So height divided by base, that will be 1.5. So let's write this down. So 1.5, and that will be meters per second square. That will be part 2. Now let's move on to part B of that question. So the diagram shows a velocity time graph of a particle Q moving in a straight line with velocity v at time t. So as you can see, there's already only two parts to this graph. The first part is from time 0 to 10, it travels at a speed of 6. So that is the first part. And then from 10 to 20, it travels at a speed of 3. Okay, so now we have to draw the corresponding displacement graph for that particle Q. So one thing to know here is that the gradient of a displacement graph is equal to the speed. And how do you find gradient of a graph, of the displacement graph? It is always height divided by base. Okay, so just to show this, we have to explain, okay? So first thing first, here you can see from 0 to 10, so 0 to 10, right here, the speed was constant at 6, right? So meaning that the gradient of s was 6 from 0 to 10, right? So let's write down the gradient for this first part was 6. And how do you find gradient? You have to take the height that we don't know, divide by the base. The base is 0 to 10. That will be 10, 6. So the height will be 60. So when time this, that will be 60. So for the first part, we just have to join these two by a straight line. The straight line is because it has a constant speed. That's why it is a straight line. Now for the next part of the journey, from 10 to 20, which is also 10 seconds, the speed is now 3. So let's run on the same thing again. From this part, we know that it is 3, the speed. So it is 3h by 10, because it is 10 seconds, equal to 3. So the height has to be 30. So count 1, 2, 3. That will be right here. So we have to join these two for the final part. Okay, so that will be your displacement graph for this question, part B. Now let's move on to part C of this question. The velocity v of a particle r moving in a straight line, t seconds, is given to you by this equation. First one, explain why the particle is never at rest. So the reason why is because exponential 2 power t is always positive. That's why it will never be at rest. Okay. Now part 2, find the exact value of t in which the acceleration of r is 12. So a is equal to 12. But here we have v. How do you find a from v? If you would know, is that we have to, a is equal to dv by dt. That will be 4 is only a multiple, exponential 2t times 2 and plus 0. That will be 8 exponential 2t. So we have to find the value of t when a, which is this one, 8 2t, is equal to 12. That will be equal to 12 divided by 8. That will be 1.5. So we have to take log, so ln on both sides, so ln. That will be 2t. From this you will have 2t on the front, and this will become 1. That will be ln of 1.5. So t is equal to ln of 1.5 divided by 2. That will be 0.203. Correct to 3SF. That is part 2. Now moving on to part 3, showing all your working, find the distance traveled by r. So how would you find the distance traveled by r? Let me check. So between this interval and this interval. So here we only have v is equal to 4 exponential 2 power t plus 6. So we know that displacement is equal to what? So s is displacement, it is the integration of v. So first we have to find that. That will be 4 exponential 2t plus 6 with respect to t. That will be 4 2t divided by 2 plus 6t. Okay. Of course we have to add c. That will be what? 2 exponential 2t plus 6t plus c, that is s. So now given that we are trying to find the values of a distance traveled between those two, we can just apply limits on those two without finding the value of c, because it will be cancelled anyways, right? So let's find displacement at the value of t equal to 0.4 first. That will be s equal to 2 exponential 2 times 0.4 plus 6 times 0.4, and then plus c. Now s at t equal to 0.5, that will be 2 times exponential 2 times 0.5 plus 6 times 0.5 plus c. So simplify, that will be what? 2 exponential 0.8 plus 2.4 plus c. And this is 2 exponential 1 plus 3 plus c. So now we have to take this value minus this value, because we want to find the distance traveled between those two times. So we have to find the distance here, which is this value, minus this value. So 2 this plus 3 minus plus c minus this value. Expand, you will have 2 exponential minus 2 plus 3 minus 2.4 plus c minus c. So c will cancel out, and then we just have to find these two values. So 2 exponential minus 2 exponential power 0.8, and then plus 3 minus 2.4. That should be 1.59 meters for the distance traveled. Okay, so that will be the last question of this paper. I hope that was somewhat helpful. As always, if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like this video and share with your friends. And thank you for watching. I will see you soon.